All right, my beloved, let's give you a little less than 2 minutes of the mind of your creator, right? I want you to look around. This is actually a really nice place. It's like it's suburbia, right? Nice golf court on a course. People spend all their time and energy to get to this part of life, and you still end up in houses all the time. You still show up at jobs, sit in cubicles, play with your computer all day. The gods don't want this shit. There's a reason why it was so much more ceremonial, so much more spiritual back then. You get what you invest in. If you're investing in spiritual, psychosocial things, you get a cohesive society that does stuff together. If you push the spiritual, psychosocial enterprise where everybody's an individualite and they just, you're seeking to get the most by yourself, but you really need people to help you get more, and financing. So the whole pool of finance is everyone else helping you. The M2 is everyone helping you. If you're a company ripping us off, everyone's helping you. They shouldn't be helping you. You should be getting your own international monetary pool from the international finance system instead of the M2 that's American. All corporations should decouple from the American dollar and go to the euro or whatever the SWIFT system has over there for the IMF and get off the backs of the Americans. Right? No one wants to see you go to a cubicle, show up at a stupid building, get financed for high wages that don't help anybody, that don't turn into a product, that don't add value in people's lives, that don't feed mouths. That all it does is you get a wage, you go back, yeah, you spend money, you end it on your family, that's great. But it doesn't go into a physical product that shows here because that's getting somewhere else and brought here. Well, that's good. We can do that. But they have to be slaves, and it has to be a different thing, right, for it to be righteous. Because what we're doing is we're financing their oppression of us through letting them make things for us. And if you haven't figured that out, that is a problem. And your creators don't want you doing that. They want you back in the temple and doing fun stuff, teaching the cohesion of society and uplifting from the bottom and squeezing the top back down to the earth and lifting the bottom back up to the societal level is what our focus is. You can't leave, and you shouldn't be mixing. You can't leave up until we all get into the cohesion that the gods, the creators, want us to do. There's male and female. We have to respond to it at some point in time, or we're going to get absolutely crushed by them. And that's what happens. We see cataclysms. I don't want that. I want cohesion. But it's looking like we're moving right toward that, right? They don't want us doing the way we're doing it. But no one's going to respond to it in an effectual way to change it. So there's only one conclusion, right? Cataclysm. And then they turn the Elohim on, the spiritual features of this place, which are already rolling. Angels can do wrong. Angels can get into power. Their age and opportunity. They get a banner, a group of people, a group of them. And then they get moved out at the end of the age, and a new group gets turned on and moved into a transition period. And we see it over and over. That's what all the slide and the history covering over. Otherwise, there would be some linearity. Like, okay, so these people are clearly not saying it. All these people say this is what happened. That's what's happened now. That's why I brought up the whole South thing. It never made sense to me. That spirit told me, it's even told me all sorts of stuff. This place, we need to have our own economy down here and remove the foot and jackboot of these international thugs that have been preying on the American economy and establishment plus for generations, right? Kick them out. New enterprise. Our enterprise here is favored. If we do something, it's going to be favored, especially if you kick all those international concerns and all the crazy stuff that's diluting our society. People want to rally behind something they have, but if they're losing stuff, what's to rally behind? Every international opportunity is a loss. A suck from the American, right out of our blood and treasure. Goes right to Ukraine, you war after war. Afghanistan, we got nothing out of that. My brother went to that, we got nothing out of it. But broken minds and lost opportunities. Right? Ridiculous. A new mind is coming to this place. Spiritual features can be turned on at any moment. We work with a power that powers that can turn features on instantly. And they've been done before. We can see why were people talking like that? Were they just sensationalists that could highly calculate, formulate, organize, and create things that in resplendence we cannot recreate today? But they're sensationalists. I mean, their powers were fake. The things they're thought after were not real, but they were able to be more capable than us. It doesn't make sense, guys. The sensationalism of the people today evaluating from a mind that doesn't have the capacity to understand what was going on then. Because they see people that have repeated and echoed history incorrectly for benefit, to make money, right? Because it's good to talk about and make content. All right, those some thoughts later, brother.